This is the bottle garden that I'm building right now out of milk jugs. Not milk, they're water jugs actually, but if you put milk in them, I guess they're milk jugs. Over here are some chives that I've grown, the remainder of some other things I've started. They're being all repotted. I'll show you that part of the garden in a minute. This is the jug pre-processed, hole cut in the bottom. Eventually a flap like that will be cut in it. Dirt will be filled and they will be stacked. I don't know how I'll be able to go with them. I'll update this video on that in a few days or so. Alright. These are tomatoes that I purchased about a month ago. And they were like 10 inches high or less. They have taken off quite well. I have water jugs in there to feed them because they tend to dry out real quick because I've got them in pots instead of in the ground. These are more tomatoes here that I will be doing things with, like making steaks for them out of these sticks. This is another bottle. This is my first bottle garden made out of OJ bottles. I've got red peppers planted in there somewhere. I don't think they're coming up yet. It's got a pea plant up here and a tomato. I probably can't leave that in there. It'll get way too big. But everything's an experiment. I'm trying to do high intensity gardening by going vertical and using grow bags instead of traditional beds and things. Alright, this is my rosemary. I planted that also about a month ago. It hasn't grown that fast, but it's maybe half again as large as it was. Yes, Telly. I see you down there. That's my cat, Telly. He goes everywhere with me out here. He lays in my lap or scrunches up beside me when I'm sitting on the ground working. These are my grow bags made out of old grocery bags. Walmart bags, actually. These are all different species of tomatoes here. I was trying using old clothes to make cloth grow bags, and I'm still working on that, but the first ones I used tended to rot real fast. But they're maybe still good as starter pot things. This is all squash here. And I intend to plant a whole lot more squash. But I had to make sure this was going to work. And it appears to be working fabulously. I planted these all about 6 weeks ago. This one's flowering and fruiting. And I should have squash to eat within a few weeks. This is a watermelon. I need to plant more out there. I had some others and they failed. This too is a watermelon. These two, I believe, are pumpkins. And I think this one's a dying pumpkin. This is a celery plant that I grew from the stump of some stalk of celeries that I bought a month ago. I need to do that some more. And the trick is now you don't kill it, you just cut off stalks as you need them. I get a few of those started, and I'll have celery all summer. This, I believe, is cabbage. I labeled it lettuce, but it looks way more like cabbage to me. The seeds got mixed up. Some of them broke open and mixed together during a recent move. So some of the gardening things coming up are surprise. You know. Now, this is a shot of the backyard. I've walked away from the house. And the gardening things over there. This is the gardening things. And I'm making those trellises out of sticks, as I said. We'll walk over here because there's something about these woods that I'm starting to believe is sacred. No telling what went on in here. There's some seriously large old growth trees on this property. Oh, that one's probably close to 500 years old based on the diameter of the trunk. I have been coming over here to get rotted leaves and dirt for my garden. And some of what I'm working on here is clearly an old trash pile because I'm digging up bottles and junk and even old hoses. But I frequently come here to sit. And I noticed when I sit out here and meditate, I seem to have visionary experiences. If you'll see, there are a lot of old pipes and junk and thing here that really needs to be removed. But if I look right out into the woods, right through there, and I concentrate on the play of light and shadow, I can get into a deeply meditative state and sometimes see images of people I think about and see what they're doing and then feel what they're thinking. I've seen some people I know having not necessarily a fight, but an argumentative discussion out here a couple of days ago. And I've seen my friend Eddie out here more than once. And I suspect there's some type of energetic ley line running right through here. Or something. Something makes this little patch of woods. It's really small. I mean, there's a street right over there. And then you go back about 50 yards to the back of these woods, there's another street. And then over that way is somebody's backyard, and it leads to the main street where I live. Well, I don't live on Main, but that's where it leads. But even though there's lots of junk piled in here from people dumping it from, I think, what was once a, I forgot what they told me now, a painting business, but this looks like plumbing stuff. It's kind of junky looking, and yet these woods are beautiful despite all the junk that's dumped in here. They're just beautiful. So, I think there's an old barrel that somebody dumped here. If I bought this place, I would have had that, hauled away. And I'd have a lot of this stuff cleared out and keep what it's useful, but clear it out of here and beautify these woods. Let them become the honored place that this begins to feel like. And not have all this rubble laying about. But see, right through there, and you pay attention, Eddie, that's where I frequently see you, right in through there. I can't hold the image always. Sometimes I see you a little closer. Depends on how good I'm concentrating. And sometimes I see them up there, a little higher up. Kind of like seeing them on a transparent movie screen. But anyway, these are my magic woods. So you can see all these stacked ceramic piping things here. And I'm sitting here in this area where I've been digging to get soil for my garden. And there's a house back there, so when I say I'm out in the woods, I'm really out in a very wooded part of a backyard. But as you can see, if you sit out here and don't look toward any of the houses or the streets, you can feel like you're in deep woods. And like I said, there's a lot of old growth trees here. Take a look at this one. This one's got to be 300 or 400 years old based on the diameter of its trunk. And there's some even bigger ones back there. And I know there are pecan trees in here because I'm finding pecans. I haven't quite found where they are yet. I believe this baby here is a magnolia. Okay.